Welcome everybody to 48 Talk episode number 74. I am your host Rage Baldi as always. Joining me this time is the usual crew of DXTakamina on the right, Derek on the bottom left, and that Canadian guy on the bottom right. Lots of news to talk about this week.
Oh, definitely.
We have, first of all, we're going to talk about the whole Katomina situation, Ota Yuuri from NMB48. Of course, we're going to talk about the Mama performance and the announcement of Produce48. And in between, we'll have some topics to talk about, and then finish up with Mechaike. So let's get right into it. So we have like a whole situation on our hands.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I think first of all we need to thank, I would say, Flores.
Flores, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, Flores.
he made us aware of the situation. Then we really got into it and a little digging on that side. So Katomina from NGT48, Katomina has posted. Was it on Twitter? Or was it like, no, it was her mail, right?
Yes.
It was a mobile me, I think.
Mobile mail.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she just threw her heart out there. And we've been discussing this on the show like for the past few weeks, months, that it's like what's happening to Katomina. It's like not getting the push, Yuka is going higher, Mahardika is there, and then for some reason the first girl that was like getting the push of NGT48 has now been, dissolved in the back with Sosenkyo ending on that place. Still placing, but not the feeling that she placed well. She should have been a lot higher. She finally, I think, broke and just throw out her frustration. And we do have a translated letter. And who do we give credit to for the translation of that letter? Someone know?
I actually don't know because it was Flores who pointed me towards it, but no one took credit for it. So it's
Oh,
just
we'll find out. We'll credit the person right. But thank you whoever did that. And basically, it says that her frustrations and her self-image is all messed up. It's like fans are telling her that she's not fine. It's like why she's here, why did she leave the group stuff. Mean things again. And lately, we've been hearing this a lot. She also thinks she's overweight, and she has a problem, and it's really hard to be an idol compared to many of these what we say beautiful girls, and self-image is very important there, because that's the number one thing. You are represent yourself on camera at events, live events, so appearance is very important. So they get very self-aware when they get frustrated that they're a little overweight, even though they're not. There's this whole situation about it.
oh yeah, definitely.
So I'm gonna open the discussion as to like who wants to go first.
Well, seeing that when I read the comments on the post Flores made, Derek had a lot to say about it. So I
Quite
would
a bit.
say, Derek, open up, man.
Yeah. First of all, Robin, I think also we're gonna discuss the AKB album as well too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's later. Anyways. Yeah. I really kind of need to say some stuff about this, and I'm going to say this more. I'm directing this towards Florence because he is a huge Katamina Oshi. I mean,
Yep.
this gentleman posts continuously on my Facebook wall endless beautiful things about Katamina. I've learned so much about her just because of what he's done. This is the power of what an idol can do for a fan and what a fan can do for an idol. Having said that, and the reason why I'm bringing this up, the reason why I'm directing this towards him is because I realized how crushed he was when he saw his Oshi go from this happy-go-lucky girl to wavering to suddenly just, it's like, I give up. I collapse. And she actually said in that letter, I need you to save me. Save me. Now, if that's the actual translated words, that's pretty powerful stuff to say. And I started thinking about, and I thought about Heartbeat's situation and how she had some self-image problems. Kaoru Mitsume, I know I'm
Yeah.
botching her name, how, look what happened with her. But of course, that was, I think, more a legitimate eating disorder issue. But over and over and over again, we've seen in the idol world that there is the fat idol, which in normal people, that's like underweight. And then there is like idol, like normal weight. And Katamina, when she first came on the scene, we saw some of her early gravure. She had like, the definition in her stomach. She was very slim. She is not fat by any stretch of the imagination. Even today, you can argue she may have put on a few more pounds, but she's also 18 years old now. She's getting older. That's what happens. You become more of a woman. And that's not a negative thing, or it's not something to say it is a bad thing. And plus, she is still gorgeous. She's 5 feet tall, so of course, you know, when you look at somebody like her at her stature, even the little bit of amount of weight will look big, you know, I think, in their eyes. And then compound that with you're standing next to pencil-thin Ogi and, you know, Mahahon, who is like a goddess. I mean, you just kind of, I can understand the idea, and that's just within NGT. Put her in front of everybody within the AKB48 group, and she probably does feel much more smaller than 5 feet. So when you look at that, you have to also ask yourself, well, what is it then can she do to focus on that would be successful? But then you look at her Senbatsu, and she went from what, like the top of Undergirls to low, almost lower, like 70 something to 70, I think 76, 71, somewhere around there.
She was Undergirls?
No. Yeah, or not Undergirls. I'm sorry. Why did I say Undergirls?
Upcoming girls.
Yeah. Sorry. So,
probably.
my apologies. She'd like to be in Undergirls. She'd like to be in Senbatsu. That's her goal. And that's a great goal. That's everyone's goal. But I would say, like, she actually improved in rank this year. Not by much, but she still improved. That's better than some girls who went the other direction. But I think it's just not enough for her. She was the crown jewel of NGT when they first started. She was the girl. She's the one that everybody knew right away because she was doing flips on stage and twirling batons. Everybody's like, oh my god, she had the infamous fake fight with Milky, or was it fake? I think, like, you know, everybody expected her to be the one, and maybe even bigger hopes. And now she's been relegated to the back, like you said.
It's the same story Tashima Meru had from HKT48.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Perfect example. But here's the problem I have. She is so phenomenal. She is one of the best people in AKB48. She is good people. She helps everyone. She tries to do her best for so many. She is always smiling. And I just want to put it out there to everyone, and you guys please give your comments too here, because I want to hear what all you guys have to say. But I want all of us to really give a push to this girl. Just show some love to her. Get on her, just whatever you can do to show love to this girl, just do it, even for a little bit. That kind of stuff helps. Yeah. This is the whole point of being an idol fan. We support these girls. It's not a usual musician relationship. These girls are very fragile. She's also only 18 years old, and she already feels like she's giving up, and that's so tragic, because if NGT loses her, they are losing a gigantic, monumental force of nature. And let's be honest, she's nowhere near done. This girl has a huge future ahead of her if she decides to stay in AKB. You know, the path will become clear, but I just think she needs to get over this hump. She needs to do a whole Komiharu overhaul and, like, realize, I can do it. You know what I mean? And some people are like, well, it's a cry for attention. Of course it's a cry for attention. That's not a bad thing. That's what the idols do.
This is not a cry for attention. This is a cry for help, if we see the translation of the letter. The thing is, because she's so doing aerobics, you know, with her flips that she does amazing, and the baton twirling like that, she's very muscular. She developed, you know, muscles in the leg area. That's why she's a little bigger on that side. And it's not even a problem. But for us Westerners, it's like, it's fine. I think in the Asian culture, Japanese culture, you're always small and petite, and because he has muscular, maybe that's the whole situation. She's not liked by the Japanese side. So I think that's a problem, because if you look at it, again, if we go to Ogino, she's like a very, like, I would say dangerously thin. She still looks gorgeous, just to say. But it's just, you know, don't lose any more pounds.
Right. Yayo, you've met Ogi, very famously so. What was she like? What was she like in person for you? How thin would you say she was? Like, as far as, like, you seeing versus what we see on TV?
She's a bit thinner, actually.
Right?
Right.
Did you ever meet Meru Tashima?
No, but, like, I think I saw her somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Like, I met her, right? This girl is so thin, it's not even funny. But yeah. Oh, God, I'm sorry.
Like, I met Mio, and, like, Mio looks big in TV.
Me too.
But, like,
me too, right? She's so tiny. When I met her, I was like, I can't believe you're even the same girl. Like,
I'm like, what the heck? You're thin.
Right? And Shiori was another one, and Izarina. When I met them, I'm like, you girls are freaking gorgeous. Like, it just blows you away how unbelievably attractive these girls are. And to them they're fat. I blows. That's what really hurts when I see that.
That's again the big problem here. It's a cultural differences.
It is.
And like when I saw the MB48 live, I noticed like a lot of tiny girls like Sine, you know, always gorgeous, always empty. She's very tiny. And
Yeah,
you need to compare. Just that's actually the standard to compare to that. So if anyone is a little bit bigger than that, then they make the joke you're fat, but they feel like, well, I should be able to lose more pounds or anything else. But I think the biggest problem here is with Katomina compared to the rest. I don't think it's fat. I think
it's muscular.
It's muscles. Muscles. That's the thing.
Thank
it's
you,
muscular.
Robin.
Because
I love that.
I'm gonna chip in for a moment because
Please.
have you taken a look at Matsuri Jurina before she did the whole wrestling thing and after she did the whole wrestling thing?
Totally
look at
different.
Look how she transformed, and it's the same thing with Katomina. She's all those muscles now, so yeah, of course she's going to be look a little bit bigger. Take a look at Jurina. She developed those muscles while training for the pro wrestling. The same thing happened.
She's also now the spokesperson for New Japan Pro Wrestling. She's the ambassador,
crazy.
and just posing every day in different New Japan merch outfits just to get their sales up.
I also think, though, the other issue with Katomina is, I call it the injury curse of AKB. She hurt her hand. Look what happened. Look what happened to Akicha. Look what happened to Harupi. You get injured and you take time off, you're out of the conversation. And I think unfortunately for Katomina that happened. But I would say overall, this girl is the brightest shining star. I would say she was my original Oshi and NTT until I met the weird and unusual Mahahon, and now I just can't stop. Go ahead.
I'm the same.
Yeah, right.
I think everyone, like, for a new group, like, everyone goes to the default center first.
Right.
Then, like, you discover basically everyone after. So, like, I went from Katomina to Tsugumin because Tsugumin is amazing. So.
but that's the awesomeness of Katomina. She caught our eyes, even though she was kind of default center by default. Like, they pushed her. I just liked her. I liked her attitude. I loved her. Her face is so pretty, and I kept thinking, like, I'm really gonna support this girl, and I still do. She's still my number 2. And I gotta be honest. For people like Flores who really support Katomina, the only thing I'm gonna tell you is when I go to Japan and I do handshake events, I'm gonna make it my purposeful goal to shake Katamina's hand as much as possible, and I'm going to really let her know. I'm going to memorize as much Japanese as I can to let her know that she is deeply loved by the international community and that she should never give up. And I think that's all we can do as fans. And I hope anybody who's watched this will understand we should do this for all the idols, all of the ones we love and respect, because you never know what girl is the smiling girl that's about to break. I had no idea Katomina was suffering. And now it's like, it kind of drew attention to me. Like, who else is suffering? Who else is getting, like, was pushed, not, and who's feeling like that kind of heartache?
Yeah.
That's what bothers me about this.
So, I know that's thing, but I'm gonna get you with some harsh reality.
Please.
I don't think you can save them all.
The
group is too big for that, and we would like I'm a person that's like I like to see everyone in success.
Me too.
But the thing is, not everyone can be on the top. That's why we have the Sosenkyo. That's why you have Senbatsu and stuff like that. That's why there are certain members who know what their role is. Even though we know they can make it, they're like, no, this role is safe. I'd say the perfect example, I can two on my mind, is Murayama Yuri and Fujita Nana.
Oh yeah.
They're like, it's like, Sosenkyo, I really don't care. It's like, oh, you wouldn't want to be on TV. It's like, it's fine. I'll go to the Twitter bros, maybe, or be on Kimidare, because that's fun. I don't need to be every time on AK Bingo, or, be on, what we're talking about, Mechaike or something like that. It's like, I need these high time shows. I'm going to be in my comfort zone. I'm going to work. I'm going to have fun. And they figure it out. I think, for Katomina, it sucks, but she has to find a role as well. The problem is, the thing she wants, she thinks she's lacking, because she's looking compared to the others, and she's like, I'm fat, I'm not wanted, I'm this and this. So that's why she's talking her down. And in the idol world, if you want to be successful, like the general successful, she's maybe lacking, or she hasn't found herself yet. It depends.
Yeah, Robin, that's so good. Yeah, defining yourself. You're 18 years old. You don't know anything in the world. I mean, I hate to say I'm not being mean to anybody who's 18. I'm just saying, like, you haven't lived life, like, you know.
I'm 30, and I don't even know.
Right, none of us do. None of us do.
You'll never know. Everything
it's a
can
constant
change.
Process.
Yeah.
But here's my thing, my final closing thought on this, for me at least. I'm going, eventually to move to Japan here. I'm gonna maybe thinking about, owning a club for idols, and my goal is to take all these AKB girls who don't make it and have them be like my girls that show, play regularly at this, and I will turn them into superstars at that club, and they will be so happy every day with their life. And especially like if I get Katomina to do it, like if she's like, screw NDT, I'm off, and she comes, and starts her own little thing in my club. Flores, if you're listening, you can be part of the show. You can manage or be a bouncer, or I'll let you in on it.
Or just join the water community. The water.
Yayo's gonna be my resident Wota, and if any idol shows are lacking, he's gonna bump it up with his 10 blades.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
I can only do the Kikankuji, so like oh. By the way, if you don't know what a Kikankuji is, it's one of those. It's one of those penlight blades that like goes around you. It's basically like a brass knuckle, like, with 10 blades.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna be on the walkie, be like, yo, I need you down here in 5 minutes. Bring the lights. And we got a situation.
You just see one fist going through the crowd.
Yeah.
No, two.
Oh, just two.
No, he'll be right in the middle, and then his hands won't be lit up, and then all of a sudden you're like, and then you'll hear like a bass drop over the PA, and I'll be like, Wota time, and then like it's just gonna be amazing.
Oh man,
I picture it, and it looks like a fun night. So.
And Katamina's gonna be on stage. She's just gonna. How would she not be happy with her life forever when you see Yayo doing that for her? Like it'll be great.
So the biggest thing I'm thinking about, the thing she had, the thing that really stood out for her, is she was doing the flip. One of the first performances of NGT, they did heavy rotation, and normally it's like Yuko is like doing the split or anything. No, she does a front flip. Yeah, front flip. And looked amazing, like landed, and she does the aerobics. But a gimmick, sometimes it works, sometimes it can stick for many years, but it's like a one-shot gag. You need to come up with new material to stay interesting, and that's pretty hard to stay because it changes every time. Like, oh, that was fun last year, what have you brought now to the table? And I think that's also what she's missing. Maybe she's fine. She's like, I can't do the aerobics anymore. Maybe that's also a thing that she was thinking about. Normally she does flip easily. Now she's having trouble doing a normal flip that she had. Maybe like the injury, like you said. When you're injured, you can't do anything. So that means you can't work out. Maybe that's what happens. Like every time you don't work out for 2 or 3 weeks, you'll reset. You have to just gain that experience again. But who knows? Everyone can change. It's like with Minagishi Minami. She had like a lot of changes, and maybe she gained a little weight, and then she was in like Rise Up commercials showing a 6-pack. Or we'll talk about that later with Mechaike Haruka. It's like how she looked then and how she looks now, and doing great on that side. Last time with Miyazaki Mao, she had her whole story. She gained 10 kilos. I don't know how much in pounds. And you saw a picture. Yes, if you compare the two, she's definitely fatter. She wasn't fat, but she gained a weight. But in Idol World, that's killing. So that's why she really tried, because she was considered to be the replacement for Archan, or the next ace. And then she gained her weight. Yeah.
Yeah, and also too, Katomina could always pull a Yuko and be like, I don't have any special talents, because that was Yuko's little thing. She's like, I'm not special, and that worked for her because people were like, oh well, it like instantly took off the expectation she had to perform. But she was a performer. She was a natural performer. But I think Katomina, she's so young, she has so much to learn. She just got to remember who she is. She's an idol. You know what I mean? Well, you know what I mean? Like it's okay to be lost, and it's okay to share that. But when you're writing a letter saying, save me, those are powerful words. Like there's a desperation there that you shouldn't have to get to that level. And that's why I really hope we can pick her up collectively. And I hope that her Oshis, the people that are Oshimenning her, will really go all out for her. And comes to Sankyo, that's one way you can show your love, but I think she needs to be seeing it the whole way.
That's the thing. I don't want to see a repeat with like Komiyama Haruka.
Oh, me neither.
Oh,
Is like last Sosenkyo, the year before that, we stepped up. I think the entire community, they gave her everything wanted, and she made it to Undergirls. And then next year we goofed. We were like, oh yeah, we helped you last year, but we didn't help you the next year. And that's the thing. We can only help them for a year, and that would be nice. It's like, oh yeah, we'll show your support, and then next year the support is gone again, and you get the same repeat. So it's just like, don't let them be a charity case.
Right.
That's also the different side on it. So I would like to see her rank better and see that we care. I don't think the Sosenkyo is the right way. I would say handshake events.
Handshakes.
Yeah.
I think
Consistent.
That's why I'm gonna do what I'm doing.
go to her
Yeah.
directly, and instead of what these people are doing, going to her and then saying, "Oh no, you're ugly," or saying mean things to her. Apparently in the handshake events, it's like those people. The one who's like the guard waiting for the seconds, I think you make a new rule with the handshake event. Don't say anything like insensitive and freedom of speech, blah blah blah. In this case, no. I would say it's like keep it nice, keep it clean. Otherwise, get out.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yep.
Get you just there's no reason why go to that and do where's the joy that you get from going to tell some 18-year-old girl she's fat? Like screw you, dude. Like you suck. And let that happen on my watch. Watch what I do. What were you gonna say, Yayo? I'm sorry.
I totally forgot actually.
Oh, well.
And classic Yayo. There we go.
All right. Anything else to wrap up the Katomina situation?
No, just
Said it, man.
support her as much as you can, and
Yep.
it's possible for you. So
Yeah. We're not done yet, though.
Oh,
We
no.
move on now to NMB48's Ota Yuuri.
Oh, man. Ugh.
This was interesting to see. So if you don't know what happened, there was a theater show, and she wasn't feeling well, and she collapsed. And we saw them trying to forcefully take her away, but I think she was unconsciously resisting, so it was really horrible to see. But yeah, the show must go on, of course, and they're still dancing. But she in the back just, getting someone get dragged off, and we haven't heard anything since. Only the fact, yeah, she's out because of poor health. Yeah, duh,
Yeah.
we saw that.
Uh,
So this whole situation, it's horrible. I think exhaustion that can happen. It's a theater. Maybe you didn't eat well. But there are multiple things that can happen. The lights. Maybe she's fine now. She just had a bad day. Who knows? But what do you guys think? The way they handle the situation, or is there a way they should have noticed that she wasn't 100%, or even they knew it was 100% and they didn't? They said, just go out there.
ooh, pretty dangerous to talk about this one actually, because I actually don't know how she was health-wise, because it seems so random for some reason. When I watched the video on Twitter, I was like, what's going on? And then the small arrow pointed out that someone was being dragged off, and I still haven't actually got a clue how she was health-wise before the whole performance. So I'm actually a bit afraid to speak out on this one. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's really, yeah.
Yayo, do you know anything about Ota Yuuri? I mean, because you seem to have really in-depth knowledge of a lot of members, so I'm just curious, like, if you had anything you could say about her, because she really wasn't on my radar.
Like Ota Yuuri is like one of those girls. I think she got promoted like a few years back. Like she got pushed because I think someone else graduated, so like it's like, oh, we need a new member, so like they just kept pushing her. So that's my background check of her.
Sure.
And Andy liked her when she was starting, and now Andy likes her more. So
Yeah.
And like remember like the joke with Sayaka, they're like, oh, I went to Yuri after 2 years. Then Sayaka's like this?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Back to the topic. Like I watched like the 3-minute video from Taiwan Club, and like Yuri like looks like she's about to actually faint though during the 3-minute video they posted in Taiwan Club. I'm like, oh my god, she looks like she's actually about to collapse. And like especially with the B2 songs, it's like, was it the Team K set list? I think it was Team K set list or Team B. But like it's all intense dance moves, and like she looks like she's about to faint. And when they did that one song, she actually just like bam. I'm like, what?
So a little update on this.
Yeah.
Her career, I would say, is actually on the rise because she ranked for the first time on the 8th Senbatsu at number 52, and this year she was on number 27, Undergirl.
That's how I know her.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Okay.
She made it into multiple A-sides within the latest song, Warota People. So, I am now thinking she's Senbatsu for Warota People. She's, getting more exposure, more stuff to do. Again, 18 years old. Maybe it was it's exhaustion because too much to do with all the videos, single coming out, promotion, stuff like that, performing in all the TV stations, etc., and then performing in the theater. I think he's like, all right, it can happen. But sorry, there.
Go ahead. No, please. Yeah.
I was saying like she actually been Senbatsu like since 2015.
Yeah.
Remember that one song that the girl is married now? They're like,
yeah. Duran Shoshin. No, what I mean is her position has been changed because undergirls in NMB, or like in AKB48 Sosenkyo, being undergirls, and then in your own group means you're almost your top ace from NMB, I would say. So her position, I believe, if I look at her, is now frontline, if I'm correct on that side. Not completely sure though, but that's a whole differentiation because then you're media Senbatsu. You're also more on TV. So I think that's the different one compared to what she was before.
Yeah, when I saw that video, I only saw the shortened clip of her passing out. It was very frightening to me, and it unnerved me when they were dragging her off. She was out cold. It wasn't like she just stumbled. She literally looked like somebody knocked her face off, like some invisible person just decked her, because she literally she went boom, and then like they're dragging her. I thought she was dead, and like that really bothered me. But I'm really happy to see that she at least let everyone know, hey, I'm not dead, I'm cool. But my problem is that, what was the problem? I want to know. I don't give us a stupid, she's not feeling good. Okay, not feeling good is,
don't say the obvious. Don't say the obvious.
I mean, well, don't make it sound like she had a little cold. I mean, she flattened, and I mean, people don't just do that. So I want to know, did she pass out because of, like you said, exhaustion, mental stress? Is there a health condition we need to know about with her? What's going on with this girl? And more importantly, what was done? Like, why did it take a member on stage to drag her off? Did you see anyone else help? Was there a staff member?
There's only two members.
No. It was a staff member in the back was trying to pull her off stage.
Okay.
But she was resisting a bit, also unconsciously. It's a between level. So you're conscious, but you're also not thinking clearly. So she's thinking like, no, I need to perform, like stuff like that. And she tried, no, you're not fine. Come here. And the staff, they don't want to be on stage because then you lose the attention completely. So they tried to do it secretly, but it didn't work out. So that's why it's on a whole mess, I would say. So on that, yeah.
No, please go ahead. On that note, you were going to say.
No, I was going to say on that note. I think they handled it well considering the situation. You don't plan for these things. You're like, okay, you're hired if someone just drops. You don't know that. So I think
Yeah, I don't have a problem necessarily with how they handle it, but my question, I had two questions that came out of this. Number one is, do you think they should have stopped the show? Or because
No.
I noticed
No,
like
no.
AKB in general, they have a rule, it seems, don't stop the show. People could fall off the stage or music could stop and they just keep going.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's professionalism or just stupidity, but I'd say I think it was interesting. I'm okay with it. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think they should? No?
Well, if you stop the show suddenly, it can also cause a bit of a panic, I would say. So
They have a panic, right?
that's the
Okay.
reason why they kept going. So yeah, just keep on the show unless it's really chaotic and.
I think
something
it's an
happens.
unwritten rule in theater in general, entertainment in general. The show always must go on.
Go on.
There have been a lot more worse situations I can think of in entertainment business, and even those shows still went on.
Sure.
Like
Sure.
people die at shows, and they're like, all right, no, we'll still need to finish the show. We'll keep you updated on this situation. I think Yeo knows which situation I'm trying to talk about. If in history, like we were talking also about wrestling.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
DX
the
also
king,
known.
the king, yeah, king, yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Even worse, DX.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I think I
Oh,
know what that
Owen.
one is.
yeah,
Yeah, Owen,
the
yeah,
Canadian knows which
Owen,
one.
yeah,
Yeah,
Owen,
Owen
Yeah,
Hart.
the Canadian.
That's the
But that-
thing. Yeah.
That segs me into my next question. Then, how much of an obligation do you think management for AKB 48, all the management, how much of an obligation do you think they have to tell us as fans what exactly happened?
That's a tough one because medical stuff, you can't, because they're an entertainment business and their words can be taken by the media. This whole like law and physical stuff and things you say, you are representing a company and stuff like that. And if you clearly say something about medical situations, the company is not a doctor. So unless an official doctor is saying this, you cannot say anything like, "Oh, she had this and this problem." No, you just say, "She has poor health." That's a standard situation. And like, and the rest of you, we could tell you because I understand you want to know, but you don't need to know. That's
See,
yeah. Go ahead, Derek.
my concerns are this. Okay, and I definitely agree with you there. I think that's fair. That's valid. My concern is like I'm looking at it from the perspective two things. One is like if she was my Oshi, right, that would really severely hurt me as her fan. Because again, she's my Oshi. She's not just some girl I'm supporting. She is like the one for me when it comes to AKB. Like I would really desperately want to know in a selfish way, like what happened to her, but more out of genuine concern, because I want to know what my status is as a fan to her. How do I help her? How do I support her? Best you can do, I guess, just sit and wait, which that's terrible, selfish for me to say, but I just feel for all the Ota Yuuri fans out there who really love her.
I think that's another situation because we're on the western side and not on
Yes,
in Japan.
yes.
Yeah, true.
If you
Right.
if you want to know what happened, you can always ask her. Just get a ticket
Yeah.
and shake
There
her
you
hand
go.
and
There you
be
go.
like, "What the hell happened?" And
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm fine."
Yeah.
She said she's already fine though. Like there's a blog post.
Yes, yes.
yeah, but-
There's a blog
But
post. It's
we've
not.
heard that before.
No,
Exactly.
that's all the thing. When you read something, it's fine, but you need to hear it sometimes. Sometimes you
Yeah.
need to see the reaction, the facial features, because I can tell you right now in the camera, I'm like, I'm fine. It's like, yeah,
Boy.
do you believe
Boy.
me if I do it like this?
No,
And I'll be
no,
like,
not at all.
No, I'm fine. You see,
I
then
got you.
then it's
Totally
a
different.
difference.
More
But-
convincing, yeah.
You have no.
Blogs don't convey tone.
Yeah,
Exactly.
We have emoticons, but still, emoticons are also maybe a lie. I don't know. Facial features, even if you're best liar, you can't really stop those facial features. So that's why
Yeah,
you
and
want to
that-
see her and tell for yourself, seeing is believing, stuff like that. Is she
Right.
fine?
Well, also, if she's your Oshi, you want that connection to just keep going. You're concerned, But that even on a more deeper personal level, like if that was my daughter, my problem is like if my daughter dropped like that, I'm just that makes me really curious about, is there a doctor on staff? Are they ready to help in case something? I mean, because like you said, it's very dance intensive. It's very plausible they would be heat exhausted, overwhelmed. It's totally normal. I get that because it's not an easy stage to perform. But is there a doctor in the back waiting in case something like that happens? Like what if this girl legitimately had a problem? What if she had a seizure or something? Like, who would have been there for her? If that was my daughter, I'd be raising HE double hockey sticks. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't be funny.
I think
so
there's someone on the staff.
I hope so. That's all I guess I was getting at. I don't know, but it just made me wonder about the inner workings of all this, because I get very concerned for these girls. When you have girls writing us letters saying to save them, and then you have girls dropping on stages, it just makes me think, what the heck is going on?
Yeah.
It was just a rough week as far as really caring for these girls, I guess is what I'm getting at. Go ahead, yeah.
I think they actually have paramedics though.
Do they? I hope. I just hope they do.
In the back, yeah.
Yeah, so I think I saw it when I was in Japan in the EGVT.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
There's definitely two of them in red outfits, and they're also having.
They have like the health thing on their safety vest. I'm like, oh, they're ready.
And of course, in documentaries, we saw them in concerts. There's definitely a lot of people who can help. So.
Even in handshakes, they have fully trained doctors.
Yeah, so.
Do they? Yeah, for fans and for members. Like for fans and members. Yeah, they're actually super like, oh, if someone drops right now, there's someone to help. Like, that's basically them.
So, you feel relieved, Derek? That's you.
I do. I feel very relieved. I'm sorry, I just care about these girls so much. I
understand.
It's understandable. So.
Derek, they have freaking policemen in their handshakes, and like every stage has policemen. Of course, they're gonna have paramedics.
You're right.
What about firemen or firewomen, like the fire department?
I don't know, because in Canada, freaking firemen are trained to be paramedics anyway. So
I
guess these girls mean so much, and it's just and they're young girls and I just don't want anything harmful to come to them, and it's just so that does make me feel like that's right, because they should have. I'm sure a parent would have said something by now.
But
like,
I get that we want to know, but. Even though we're talking about it, like we want to know for real, you also have like people who just like, I just want to know. It's like, is she okay? It's like, just get this weird thing about it. So rather to just misinform the masses, or that it gets taken out of,
context.
Context. Stuff like that. So they just go with the safe answer. I know it's like the business answer, and it's like the same answer we hear every time. Sorry. There we go. I think it's a safe bet, and they're still a company, and they have to, do the best thing also for them and the company. So that's why they go with this route. But yeah, we would like to have more information. But hearing her say already on a blog post, I'm fine. It's something. And maybe we'll see her perform, and then we were like, it's fine. Same thing we had with Ota Yuuri. It's like, she's not fine, and then we see her on the stage smiling. It's like, she's fine.
Right.
Yeah. Right,
best wishes to her then. I hope whatever happens, she's good.
She actually performed like
already.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
I saw the picture, and it was only a girls only stage. So like, and like remember Andy was saying like. In the concert, like there was like a whole section of just female fans in like NMB side. I'm like, how the heck is there lots of female NMB fans than any sister group? I'm like, oh my god.
Robin.
Sayane.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it. Are you kidding me? Sayane is like female power, like
Shiroma Miru. And
that might be another reason.
Yoshida because of her makeup tutorials.
You also have now graduated. It was Momoko.
Oh yeah, the
Ikemen. Yeah.
I can see it.
There's a funny thing in Twitter. Like, there's this host club that they went through. The MB.
Yeah.
They like this four dudes just did the song of Momoko. I'm like, oh my god, they love Momoko so much.
She's awesome. You can't tell me you wouldn't have a beer with Momoko any day of the week, and it would be the best thing ever, because she would be the type of girl that would like just go nuts at a bar, like get on top of the the bar stools and stuff.
I would say Takamine, Momoko,
Tanamin, he says.
Tanamin. Not
Tanamin.
Takamina. Tanamin.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, he just made a mistake.
Yeah, Tanamin and Momoko, my girl Tani, but I don't think she drinks. I'd be scared to know what happens if she does.
Hika.
Oh yeah, it'd be fun.
That's the funny thing about Momoko. I'm like, I have like 4 extra 2-shot tickets because it's all Oshimachi, which means you can just go wherever you want. And I'm like, I actually considered going to Momoko. I'm like, I just literally saw her land. I'm like, oh my god, do I do it? Like, I had this 50-50 thought. I'm like, oh my god, I have an extra ticket. Should I go to her?
You should have.
You should have. Now.
It's too late now.
I'm like, oh my god, I should have. But like, I had to change it with Seichan though, or like Ogiyuka, like the bigger names.
Understandable.
Yeah. Okay.
Fresh Lemon is so alone now in NMB with the weirdness, you know, because like Raripon's gone and Momoko's gone. Those are the other 2 weirdos in NMB. Now it's just basically Fresh Lemon.
No, you'll have a lot more.
Yeah, there's more. Yeah.
Yeah. They're not well known. Well, you also have Shibuya Nagisa, who's also like a little weird, but there are a lot of weirdos in NMB48.
Really?
Yeah,
and I mean that in a good way, by the way. I'm complimenting.
Yeah, in a good way, but it's like I really enjoyed. I found out which one.
I know a few. Like Anchu is the best one because of Andy.
Anchu?
Yeah, he's like, I speak English well. Because Andy keeps trolling Anchu.
Anchu, yeah.
Oh, Anchu, I have friends from America coming in. It's like, what do I do? I don't speak English.
That's hysterical. Andy would do that too.
Yeah, Andy.
Let's see. NMB48.
I like
Singapore.
I think Hayashi Momoko, like she's like her whole catchphrase is like, oh, I came up from a box, yay!
What?
Yeah,
you know why? It's because they're all. It's Osaka, man. It's you know.
Yeah, everybody in Osaka is like weird in a way.
Weird and funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to learn more NMB, man. I do.
Yeah,
You should.
Fun.
They're pretty fun. I'm trying to find one with. Last time I knew who it was, but I forgot. So I'm now actually looking into the Senbatsu, because I still need to find out the name of the weird girl I saw at the NMB stage. And I'm thinking it's Tanigawa Airi, but like they're also energetic. That's the thing. They're all a little bit crazy, but it's very lovely to see. And
everybody in Namba is like weird in a way, you know.
Yeah, would you remember when Yamada Nana was in it? It's
oh man,
that girl. Oh my god.
Yamada Nana, yeah. Oh,
her voice like kill you.
She was so, but she was just in general, just out there. You know what I mean? Like just I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point. I just wish I knew more, because again they're like all the groups. They don't have a variety show to show me really. Like, you know, that I can get into that's subbed and regularly done. God, I couldn't say that.
I'm just waiting for Gainin 4, please. Come on.
I know, Lisa. I did like Genin. Genin was hysterical. Signing was so good at that. So.
Yeah. You should have more NMB. Just watch them.
I will. And by the way, anybody in the comments are big NMB fans, please let us know. Let us know your thoughts. I know we have some fans that like know everything. I mean, literally everything there is to know about AKB. So please let us know.
I think for next week. Andy, of course. Andy's a great guy.
Andy's awesome.
I think for next week we should talk about. It came out this week, but we have a lot more to talk about in the show. So the NMB 48 MVs and songs, the songs.
Yeah.
We can mention about that, but well, quickly, wrote it to people. I like it, but the album song from Masca Singapore, I think that's my favorite from NMB this year.
Okay.
Yeah, it has a special place in my heart, because it was my last day of Japan, and then I see just this whole lineup, everybody going like this. So this song is very dear to my heart, and that about Kimono Gigs, of course. Okay, so we have more to talk about, and we're already 44 minutes in. It'd be great. there was this giant concert, or no, like a special event for
Oh, yeah.
like Tokyo. What was it called? Mama concert or something?
Mnet,
it-
yeah, Mnet
It
Asia
was
Media
in
Awards.
it was in Yokohama
Oh,
Arena.
Yokohama.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yokohama
Right, right.
Arena.
So there were like a lot of performance, but this was the world's Senbatsu from AKB48. And okay, we first off we're gonna talk about this performance. Okay,
K-pop.
Yeah.
K-pop. K-pop.
K-pop.
K-pop. K-pop.
so
K-pop.
it was AKB48 with all the sister groups, followed by BKN48, TPL48, Taipei,
TPE.
TPE,
TPE.
Yeah.
and is it MNL that was also there?
No, MNL yet.
take-
No,
Okay.
not yet.
Okay. And
Not yet.
for some reason, first off, they was that Big Bang that was showing, or was this another Korean? Oh no, who are the guys? They are now very famous in Japan as well. That they are so famous, they have a Christmas sign on the Shibuya one.
BTS?
Yeah, is it BTS?
Yeah, BTS is big, yeah.
Yeah, they're very big in Japan apparently. But they were showing on the screen, right, during that performance, or is they
Yeah.
were watching the? Yeah, so it was BTS. Okay, I was thinking.
I think. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
who-
sure it was them.
I don't watch a lot of K-pop boy
Yeah,
bands. Okay.
me too.
I know a few from Running Man because I watch that, but in this case, so AKB is gonna perform a few songs. They performed Heavy Rotation and
Yeah.
Koitsuru
Koitsuru.
Fortune Cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They, for some reason, they pan out the shot to this boy band so much, and the guy is like so confused. He's like, the one who has like very bright yellow hair or orange hair, I would almost say. He's just looking like, what's happening? And the AKB girls, they look gorgeous. Again, they brought that red rose dress that I really
Oh
like,
man, yeah.
and they're doing Heavy Rotation, but their mics are live. So they sing for Heavy Rotation first, and then they let the other girls sing, and I was like, oh my god, they're so
Yeah.
off sync.
Yep.
Oh, it's
well-
it's so horrible, and you can tell. I'm gonna finish the rant first, Eric. Then you can go.
Please do. Well, please do. Please do.
It's more like you can tell. I can tell from Majime Okada Nana. She's like, what the hell is happening? So
Yeah.
jacked up, and they are really trying to, sing. For God's sake, sing. It's not that
know.
hard. It's Heavy Rotation. There's lots of English in this song, and they mess it up so much. It's,
Yeah, but. Oh wait, I'll let you finish.
yeah. So okay, they messed this up so much, and
Yep.
I think the guy knows because they pan out, and it's like, oh my God, this is horrible. And then we went to Koitsuru Fortune Cookie,
Oh man.
and I think Manage was like, Dame. It's like only the AKB girls can
Yeah.
sing right now because I didn't hear them. They're like doing this.
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
But Robin, you forgot the best part at the beginning when they were doing. I think it was the girls. There was IOI. I think is the name of the group. And IOI has like they're kind of a big up and coming. I don't want to say up and coming. I don't know how much they've been in K-pop world, but I heard one of their songs and I was like, it's all right for K-pop, whatever. But when AKB came out of the stage and they started doing the dance for the one song that I want to say is for IOI, I was actually like, okay, this could be cool, like, because AKB like made those girls look stupid in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, they actually they were a unit and they were killing it. Like when they started doing when the drop hit in that at the beginning, it was like
Yeah.
do, and they started dancing. I'm like, there's my girls. I'm like, they're just crushing it. And then it went into 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Mion's like level 2 decibel voice, and then it was like all these other girls from the K-pop group started singing, and I was like, what am I listening to? And then the girls, they were being all sexual about it, like the K-pop girls are just like totally sexualizing it to the point where I'm like, what am I watching? And then Na-chan had the best look, though. I saw the one part she was looking over like, what are these BITCHs doing? Like, come on! Like, you know. It's... Okay. I'm all for collaboration. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think bringing countries together, awesome. You can't beat it. Honestly, you can't. Even in the worst incarnations, it's a good thing. So at the end of the day, this was still a cool thing because you're allowing two countries that don't necessarily like each other that much to like each other for a moment. Because J-pop and K-pop fans historically have always hated each other, or they've always been at odds, or our group's better, blah, blah, blah. And it's just totally not even a conversation worth getting into because it's totally different on both ends of the spectrum. But when they do come together, when it's done right, it's awesome. Okay, AKB at the beginning, it was gonna be awesome. When I saw that part of the performance, I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be freaking sweet. Like, cause AKB girls know how to dance. Like our girls were trained. And then when it broke into heavy rotation, I'm like, oh my god, I can't watch anymore. But I just couldn't stop laughing at that point because you had like the K-pop girls. First of all, they're like 10 feet taller than all the AKB girls, and then and they look like women. Like they look like they're 30 years old compared to AKB girls, which look like they're about 10. And then like they're like moving their hips all sexual, and I'm like, no. Just stop. And like
it was more
it went from awesome to worse to like somebody please kick them off the stage as fast as possible.
In terms of Japanese, it was like I would say the Korean girls would I would meet them in Shibuya at night, and the AKB girls I would meet them you know, during the days at some special
at a coffee shop.
Maybe it's like I would say they're still women, but it's more like different types of women and like opposites, complete opposite of each other.
Yep. Oh man,
it didn't fit well.
Yeah. Well, also too, like AKB, they had their outfits right, and they were starting to do. And again, I'm pretty sure it was IOI. Correct me if I'm wrong, K-pop fans, and I'm sorry if I am. But I think it was IOI's song that they were doing at the beginning. That big ramp up and and their dresses didn't match at all for that because when you're trying to do the dance and their dresses are popping around, it looked a little silly. But again, I thought the AKB girls, they were tight, they did it good. They look like they put their heart and soul into it. And I'm not saying the K-pop girls didn't do that. They obviously put a little too much heart and soul. They put a little too much of their ass into it.
They're not on the level. They're not on the level compared to AKB.
You're not. You're just not.
And
no offense.
After all this amazing part moments, we get this announcement. In Korea, there's gonna be a new TV show called Produce48. And it's like a talent show for K-pop idols, or like you can audition to become a K-pop idol, and it's like this whole weird TV show that's gonna be made to have their first K-pop AKB48, I think.
Well, I don't know. I think so. Yeah.
I don't know if you watched Josh Box's video about this, but if you read his comments. We had a lot of K-pop fans that really understand what this show is, and they made some really good points about how, first of all, the agency that's doing it is notoriously bad, and they try to make it seem much more melodramatic than it is, and all this other stuff. Basically, it's just your typical drama played out in reality TV, right? And that's my fear with this, is that an AKB girl will get sucked into that, and it won't be about AKB anymore. It'll be about just trying to entertain people at home with melodrama, and I don't want that for AKB. I don't want AKB to even be attached to that. The idea, again, the collaboration, I think that's cool. I would love to see AKB in Korea. I think that makes sense, okay? Because if you're gonna be in all these other places, I mean, if you're gonna be in China, why aren't you in Korea? But what doesn't make sense to me, and I'm sorry, let me just finish this real quick. What doesn't make sense to me is that AKB is forgetting one big thing. They already got their hands full with expansion. You don't need to do more. You need to take, I don't know, Stew 48 or Boat 48, or we should say No Boat 48, and give them a boat. How about just start there? How about focus on what you have? Hey, there's this other group they have. They're called J, K, and T and 48. What happened to them? We haven't heard nothing from them. I mean, it's like, why don't you focus on what you have? Taipei, can we please make them not a myth, not just girls going over saying, hey, congratulations, Taipei, for having AKB, but yet we still haven't had a performance in 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Manila 48. Don't even get me started on whatever. I don't even know what's going on with them.
Hey, at least they get Team 8 yearly.
Which was cool. It's all I know. It's cool, and I think it's a great thing. But what is going on? They've had like 25 auditions at this point, and they keep saying they're gonna come out, and that was too. I mean, it's whatever. So the point is like if you're gonna go into Korea on top of this, it's just what are you doing? But here's the one reconciliation I take, or this one thing I take solace in. It's not gonna work. It's just not, because it's just like every other side project with AKB. It will fizzle out and disappear. What was Akimoto Yasushi doing a couple months ago? Oh wait, you can't even tell me because it doesn't even matter. Like it's not around anymore.
Hey, he got an award for it.
Oh, I'm sure he did, but who cares if he gets an award? We don't get any performances.
What was the award called? The something.
The lifetime achievement award.
I mean, and that was funny. He went up. He was like, thanks, and he just left. He's like, I ain't got no award. You?
I don't have time for this. I gotta make a new group somewhere else.
He was like, yep, thanks. All right, see you later.
I got bigger fish to fry. Yeah.
That was so boss though. I have to say that was boss. Like I was like, yeah, that's why I love you, because you don't give a crap. You just don't care anymore, and you just demonstrate. You could have said some really inspiring stuff there, and you're like, yo, peace, see ya, and he literally just left. He's like, I don't need to be here. That's awesome. Go boss, man. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Like you were saying, like he has lots of stuff to do. Like he promised us freaking stages 5 years ago. Like every I'm like, oh my god, where the frick is the stage?
I love someone posted this picture of the dates that he promised that the new work come up, and the background photo is just him like. It's like that face of his, like you can trust this face. Yeah.
At least we got a Team A and a Team N stage, new ones. That's the only ones that came out new. I'm like, where the frick is the others?
We have more coming out from the guy who pretends he's Aki P in Japan than we have from Aki P. That guy is doing more production-wise, doing his, get out, you're out, like. Seriously, like he does more than Akipi, and when you want to talk about production, whatever. Like it's not gonna work. So I mean, it might be a one and done thing. Some poor AKB hopeful or current member is gonna get dragged into it, and they're gonna get their. It's not gonna work. I mean, I wish it would, because again, I'm all for collaborations of countries. I really am, but it's just focus on what you got. Let's get that done first.
Yeah,
like,
MNL and STU basically.
Jakarta, I mean, come on. They were like incredible. Like that group is solid. They are boss. They're one of my favorite things ever in the world. And they're gone. We don't hear anything about them. Nothing. Literally nothing.
Jakarta's big in Indonesia though. Like they're like super huge there.
I get that, but you don't. But they're part of AKB48. They never get invited to come over and play. Nothing. There's no collaboration.
No, they actually did. Remember, like they had a representative from JKT in the Junkin last year.
Yeah.
What?
Last year.
Last year. Yeah. And she got knocked out. First round or something? She was like, "Why did I even come? Like, this is stupid."
Yeah, they brought the original AKB members. Like, oh yeah, for translating. Oh, I'm here. Oh, this is so great. It's over already. Okay, bye. We gotta fight.
Right, I mean, literally, it was. And also, too, if you thought about it, like, that would have been great if she would have won the whole thing, because then maybe we could have seen a nice tie to JKT. That would have been interesting. But no, she was out and gone, and that's the last we've heard of JKT for a year. Literally. Except for their graduation of what? Jessica? Was it?
No, that was last year.
Oh, that was last year, too. That's my point. Like, JKT is like a myth at this point, at least in Japan. Obviously, in Indonesia, they're killing it.
Yeah,
but...
Indonesia, they're like huge.
Oh, they're killing it, yeah, because they're awesome. Sorry, I didn't react.
All right, no, okay. So we had a little more announcements coming up. I'm very happy because Katonana's getting a solo concert.
Oh yeah.
There's a whole string of concerts.
Yeah, I think it was on the showroom. I haven't watched showroom like forever. It's like been 2 weeks.
I wonder why. Say it.
Okay. So Damn it. Okay, so the
Derailed.
yes, the showroom was with Yokohama Yui, Mechaike and Okada Nana, and they announced like a certain dates are coming up. So does Yokohama Yui also have a solo concert?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Yes,
Nakarika
yes.
also as well. It's like they
Yep.
did the same thing last year with Mukaichi Mion, and I think 13 Gen.
Yeah, 13
yeah,
Gen, yeah.
and stuff like that. So they're
Like
keeping the trends.
the 3 Team 8 members too.
And then NGT48 right before Request Hour or Kohaku.
Yeah,
Request Hour and Kohaku. Or that's coming up. Kohaku's coming up soon, right? The 13th.
I know.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
next
The 10th.
next
Like,
no,
upcoming
next week.
Yeah,
The
upcoming
Sunday. Next
It's
week.
crazy.
Really?
The AKB. The AKB Kohaku is coming up.
Okay, yeah. What's on the
Yeah.
13th? There's something on
Uh,
the 13th of December. I remember it was something on the 13th of December. We first have the anniversary that's coming up.
Yeah, the 8th. But Friday. It's Friday.
Yeah.
The 12th year anniversary, yeah.
Yeah.
And the 10th is the Kohaku.
Oh, the 10th. That was it.
10th.
Yeah, we were saying this whole time.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. Anyway, that's coming up, and then also these events, and then we have request hours. We're gonna be busy again this month for AKB48.
Then the Kohaku itself.
Yeah, 31.
Yeah, the Kohaku that AKB48 is gonna be performing on its own and no sister groups. Even though they're
Unbelievable.
performing a new album and the sister group. So I've been looking on this. I've been checking out what actually released this year because well, I mean, I can plug this right now. I think end of the year is coming up, so we're doing our second annual award ceremony show again.
Yay.
Yay!
I don't know which date exactly, but for the people, start thinking about this now. I'm going to listen to my last year's show to check out what the categories were, and then maybe adjust something, maybe a new category. I don't know, but I think next week I'll be having the list for the categories.
I'm just saying here,
Awesome.
member of the year is Ogi no Yuka. Nobody beats that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Member
see.
of the year, Ogi no
We'll
Yuka.
see.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe. Who knows? But what I'm gonna say is I've looked up what singles came out this year and albums, and the list compared to AKB48 and then their sister groups
Ugh.
is horrible.
Very
So
dismal.
before looking it up, can you guess how many AKB48 singles came out this year?
What she said? Yeah, about 4, I think.
4.
Four.
All right.
One album. One album.
And
Yeah.
an album is coming up in this year as well, so you can count that.
Is it this year? I thought it was after. I thought it was in
Oh, it's
January.
January. It's January.
January, yeah. So
Next
next
year.
year.
January.
But technically.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many think the sister groups had it?
HKT had 1 or 1 maybe.
HKT had one. SKE
NGT.
had one album.
Yeah.
SKE had one album.
And
Two
one
songs.
single.
And one
Two
single, yeah.
songs?
I think it was two.
Igai no mango. You had the mango thing with SKE.
Yeah, and there's one coming up, right?
Yeah.
Oh no,
yeah.
that's next year.
That's
that's
next year. See, okay,
Oh,
that's
that's
how
next
we're
year.
gonna confuse.
1-1.
1-1.
See,
Oh,
Wait,
one
no,
album.
no. Wait, was Death Cash this year or was it last
No,
year?
last year.
Last year.
Oh my
Last year.
God, that's right. That's crazy.
NMB48. How many
Two.
singles? No.
2, right?
No. Singapore.
Nagasaki.
Singapore is album.
It's another one, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
So
Yeah.
1 with Mahardika.
So we got then SK, NMB, HKT, all 1. Then we have NGT48.
2.
Dude, they started the year right with 1. So
Yeah.
but they're fresh, so it's uncountable. STU48 is still getting a single this year. But yeah, so AKB48, 4, getting an album, getting stuff like this done, and I think there's something not right with this. I think that the attention to the sister groups is lacking,
Very
and
much.
it's very dangerously on this side, I would say. Maybe that's the whole reason they're not invited to Koku, because like you have one song, you're not relevant enough. Your sales don't matter much compared to any other artist, And AKB side, it's like, oh yeah, you're doing fine. You did 4. Oh yeah, Kizaka, how many did you do? Let's see, 1, 2, and an album. So,
At least 3 songs.
It was. Are you counting?
2, 3. Because they had 5, so like they released like 2 or 3 this year.
No,
and like 2 last year.
it was their first year. It was Silent Majority, Sekai and Futari Saison in the November area, and this year they released Fukuwayon, and then again Eccentric on the album, even though Eccentric is also on Fukuwayon, and then their 5th single Kazini Fuka or something.
Breakaway!
That's the way. But yeah, so again, they are a little more successful on that side. And then you have Nogizaka 46. They did 2 in like 2 months. The new singles, and they had like multiple, influencer.
Yeah, they crushed it. They crushed it.
The movie theme song in it.
On Kea, when they release the album, Akipi just comes out of nowhere. It's like, hey, buy my album.
Yeah, basically.
It's like, Kea's releasing an album.
Was it Arnold Schwarzenegger? It's like, hey, buy my album, jazz.
Buy my album or graduate from AKB48.
Like,
thank
buy
you.
the K album.
Buy the K album or Sotsukyo.
We love that guy, man. That celebrity.
It's too funny, man. I'm sorry.
He was so funny at that moment. But yeah, so it is concerning, and I think that's why, if this keeps going, it's like maybe it's like, yeah, you get no single this year. Maybe that will happen, because 1 single a year for a group, that doesn't sound great for business, right?
Not at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
How many concerts would you think would like okay, you have a new concert. Do we have new songs? No, not really. Just the 1 song here.
I'd be curious how many concerts they actually did, like as far as like big concerts go. They just had the Koji Haru. She graduated this year, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, her and Mayu.
Koji.
Koji Haru.
The Thank concert was canceled.
No. Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So
but
basically,
Thanksgiving concerts. They have a lot of concerts still.
Request Hour.
I don't count Request Hour and stuff like that. I'm saying like big like concert tour type stuff.
And
I know the
had
sister
that tour.
groups.
Yeah, and had a tour.
Sayane alone.
Sayane has her own tour.
Yeah.
Sayane is her own group. No, listen, like that the sister groups seem to have taken the alternate route and sort of did touring, if I'm not mistaken, versus album releasing and single focus and concentration. I don't know if that's necessarily unusual over the past couple years of AKB48 as a group, but I would say that yes, business-wise, it doesn't really inspire you to support the sister groups if they're only putting out 1 song a year or 2 songs at the most for you to really get behind. AKB, it doesn't matter. Like they can put out 1 song a year, you wouldn't care because they have so much that they do every month, every week that like you can kind of at least get into them on some level, you know. They keep the interest, but you're right. Like this is again the problem with AKB48 is they've expanded so much that they're forgetting what made them so big in the first place. And it wasn't just AKB48; it was all these sister groups like SK48 really pushing, you know, AKB48 as a group to the general discussion. And how many great songs have come out of all the sister groups? You know, how many really good songs and big highlights of concerts type songs versus, you know, now, you know, we're lucky if we get 1 good song out of all the groups, you know, which NGT thankfully gave us. But I would say like that's the problem here. You have to you have to balance, you know, and again, what's missing is variety. What's missing is a lot of exposure. You know, you can't take 16 girls out of 300 girls and just make them the stars. You have to have all these girls really get their focus and time and attention. And if you're going to have these sister groups continue, you got to do that. And they're just not doing it. And this is a good evidence. So I think this year was pretty dismal in that regard. I don't, 2018 could turn it all around. It's starting off great. The first month of 2018 is ridiculous with all the concerts and everything. So, you know, we could see a huge change in that. And plus, who knows what those other new songs are going to be on AKB48 album, for example. That could be great. SKE's album is going to be awesome. I know it. I just know it. So,
Kojima solo, please.
Right? I'm saying, like, maybe we'll see something happen in 2018. Maybe we'll see a little bit more budget being put into the sister groups. That's my hope, but we'll see.
Can I just quickly washroom?
Go. It's fine.
Classic Yayo. Classic Yayo.
On that note, okay, before Yayo comes back then, we're already past the hour mark. Shall we do recommendations for this week?
What did you want to talk about the questions from the?
Oh, let's do that one. Yeah.
Maybe. Is that okay? DX, are you cool with that?
I'll go.
Yeah, so Sosuke Pochako, I think I'm totally botching the name. He or she, I'm not sure what the gender is. This person regularly comments, along most of our commenters are all regulars, but pretty regularly, and asked a very good question. The one that I thought was really good to discuss, because we got a lot of questions, by the way, this week for people want to know about our Susenkyo predictions already.
We did talk a little bit about it.
We did, but we're a little too early on that one, I would say. We're going to talk about planning come April and May and June, but I would say this question this person asked was, should AKB48 get out of the China market because of the new recent stuff going on in China? If anybody cares to fill in with what's going on with that.
I think there were new groups announced, I think.
All right.
No. It's not new groups, it's new trademarks has been revealed, I saw on Twitter, and it's like just a few names, just so if they really want to make something, they don't need to have to pay like trademark things on that side. It happens a lot. Sometimes it's just, out of safety, you buy those trademarks. If you're like, oh, I want to start a group and we need a name that we can use, okay, these are available. I would say get out of China.
Yeah, it's not working out at all.
It sucks that the company you built, the SNH48, that now actually, stabbed you in the back and the whole situation happened. You don't want to have a repeat of that again. And I get the Chinese market is important, but no, it's done and done, I would say.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if they actually put an AKB group in China, cause fans from China supports AKB anyways. Remember that Sashi fan that buys 50,000 votes every year? I'm like, why would you even want to go make your own sister group there if your money goes to Japan anyways? What? This. That's basically what's just happened.
Well, we had a fan, I think, comment about the situation there and was saying that, it wasn't as black and white as we're thinking with a backstabbing situation and everything. And I'm not going to get into all that because it's a whole other discussion. But what I would say is I do agree with you, Robin. As much as, again, I'm all for collaboration, I think it hasn't worked out as well as it should have been in China. It would have been great if it did. I think that's more of a political thing there, unfortunately. Honestly, I think it's politics in that case. I don't think there's kind of an unspoken, or maybe even in many cases spoken, tension between China and Japan. This would have been a great way to mend barriers there, and I think that's kind of taken precedent. I think that has a lot to do with it. And I also think, again, when you had Shanghai 48, those couple years or whatever they were around, and not once did I believe they ever came to Japan to perform. AKB never went, I believe, to China to perform. Did they? No, I don't think they really did. I think they might have. Well, go ahead, Yayo.
They only send members, basically.
They only send members, right? So that's a problem. It's why make a sister group in a country you can't even have access to, or you don't have any interest in bringing over, whatever the case may be. So I'd say it just doesn't seem like a good situation. It could be, but it doesn't seem like it. So I would say step away. But that's just, and I hate to say that because I want to see them together, but I don't think it's going to work.
Okay. Anything else before we then move on?
No, I think most of it is more it can always be a hit or a miss, and in this case it's just a miss, I would say. So.
Okay, then thank you for the commenter. I can't.
Thank you.
Produce48. Produce48.
All right.
Oh boy.
Let's go into recommendations for next week. I only think of one in my mind currently. I think it's the anniversary show that's coming up. That's going to be the biggest one for this week.
16th gen promotions. Woohoo!
Let's hope so.
It's
Okay.
never gonna happen.
1
Yeah,
year
actually,
anniversary.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. Maybe it's gonna be a fun show.
It is.
Yeah, as always is. Getting the new banner up, and then maybe something gets announced. Maybe a few graduation announcements. Who knows? We'll see what happens. So that's why it's the recommendation of the week.
I'm just saying, like, I hope Mako gets a solo song in the new album. So.
That'd be great.
Anyone else? Recommendations?
I'd say, for me, I would say watch Fukuoka Sena run the marathon, 32 kilometers. That's
Ooh.
been
Oh,
that
that's
was today.
cool.
That's
It was
It was
interesting.
today,
in
and it's
showroom,
been-
right?
yeah.
Was it
It's-
showroom?
it was a show actually, and it's been posted on
That's
for that
cool.
video, I think. It's
Oh,
really interesting, and damn, running a half a marathon or even 8 kilometers is hard, but 32 kilometers, man. Oh,
That's a
it's
long
gotta-
way. I
yeah.
can't do that.
Go Seitan.
So that's my recommendation.
Yeah, I was just gonna say AK Bingo. I don't know. I've been kind of enjoying the whole comedy marathon or the comedy thing, and I thought it was very cool to see who made it past the first round, and I'm excited to see who keeps going, if anyone. And it's just kind of neat. It
was
so
touching for the SKE lady.
yeah. Don't say nothing
Come on.
else, but I would say watch that if you're interested. But yes, Fukushima, it was very touching. I liked it. Go Kawaton, that's all I'm gonna say, man. That girl was a beast, man.
Yeah.
But the funny part about that Kaotan, like, we don't have enough money, so we're gonna ask Kaotan to take the video.
We're too busy expanding into Produce48. We gotta put our money in that. Kawaton, sorry. Can you just go videotape for us? We know you're free. Why not?
The budget for AK Bingo has never been that big. It's always like a
Never
little.
been big.
All right.
Okay, I'm good.
No, you're not. But okay. Let's get into our review of this week. It's Mechaike Special from Ojima Yuko's graduation special. Yeah, that's what Mechaike guys do. They always say special at the end, so it's pretty funny. All right. It's gonna be a little bit differently. I don't have any notes, but I've watched this one multiple times, so I can think of going. So Mechaike really opens up on this weird way. They always show a little bit of like a weird story. They just suddenly jump in, and you see the two hosts, Okamura and Yabe, being like dressed up as this old, like another couple, a variety couple that also does a program in the bus, and everyone's laughing. They always use their producer or like this big producer guy who always laughs and see other people in the back. So they're talking about what they're doing and what the situation is. And they invite Ojima Yuko, and she shows up, and she's like very happy to be here. You get this whole situation, and they start to make jokes and like, oh, you'll do anything right. You're gonna do this on program. It's gonna take 2 days and 1 night. It's like, but it's like 30 minutes from here. I think they were in Odaiba.
Yeah, they went to
Odaiba.
So it's like we just can take the subway and we're just like, no, we're gonna take this whole trip. Anything happens, currently, then Yabe says, currently my wife is having labor, and I'll get a call. It's fine. It's like, you sure? It's like, yeah, we'll probably maybe go to the hospital in the meantime. So yeah, the bus comes, they get in, and then the show gets into this. They start their opening special stuff like that. You see a little hints what happens into the future. So the episode begins on the bus, and Ojima Yuko talks a little bit of graduation. They're very excited, and then the funny thing is, so they're mentioning it. It's like, yeah, tomorrow's your graduation concert, the National Olympic Stadium. Boy, were they wrong in the end. But it's pretty nice, that before she has to go, she still has this whole journey, and they're gonna say, oh, when you leave AKB, you're gonna be snobby. You're not gonna be in the show. You'll do anything for us, right? And she's like, oh yeah, I'll do anything. Like, they're still mentioning it, and she says finally, yes, I'll do anything. And then suddenly you hear this stop that's coming up, and it says aquarium tank, and it's like very intense. And it's like, okay, oh, this is our stop. Ping pong. They stop and they go to this giant tank. So this has been on Mechaike before, and it's like a little game that you have to, go underwater and a little obstacle course and pick up something and go back. So Yuko comes up. She's like, "Why am I in this outfit? I've been forced to do it. What I'm gonna do?" It's like, "Well, you said you want to do anything, right? You want to become an actress better. Well, this is good for the actor." Instead, they're trying to persuade her, convince her, and it's like, it's like, "Oh, here you go. Just follow me, and these are the rules." So she has to climb up, and she's like, "Okay, I can't see. It's so foggy." It's like, "You need to spit it." It's like, "No, I can't. I'm an idol. I can't spit." Like, oh, okay, well, screw you then. So they get into the action, and Yuko jumps in the water, and every time they do stuff, you hear her new latest single. What's the song again?
Mahardika.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So she gets in the water, and then I love this cut. So she jumps in the water, and then suddenly the music stops, and you hear like this whole thing, like the monkey that does, because she can't. She can't dive. She can't sink.
Yeah.
She's like, it doesn't work. So they're like, okay, well, try again. Maybe it's the little pusher there. Jump in. So jump in, and she goes up, but it doesn't really work, and she gets stuck at some point. She tries there, and it's like, okay, you need to breathe out, and then you can go deeper because you're filled with air. So she goes in, she swims along. I think she bonks her head at one point, and she's like, okay, a little flustered. She gets the fish. She comes up, and she's like, I finally made it. It's like, okay, well, on to the next challenge. Get a sea urchin?
Sea urchin, yeah.
Yeah.
Sea urchin.
And it's a bowling ball. So, so this guy just drops in the water, you're like, and, okay, well, she has to do it again, and I'm thinking every time she does it, like, she's holding her breath for a long time, because I think that's pretty tough, going to this, and you can get stuck there. So I was wondering, what would have happened if she's like, maybe like started drowning? Well, of course there's some emergency, but she has a concert the next day. You're like, oh, I drowned, I can't have my throat, I can't sing. In the end, didn't matter, but still. So she jumps in, tries to get the urchin. She grabs it like very tight, and she suddenly, takes a break. She's sitting because like the bowling ball's too heavy. She makes a mistake, and she's really trying. Oh, I need the bowling ball, but I can't breathe. So she's gonna come up, and well, you failed. You know what? Let's have you a little motivation. We have a special guest here for the show. And it's like, who is it? And this was the time where in Mechaike, of course, she had her whole thing. They performed the what's her name?
Goriki.
Ameagari.
Yeah, Lunchbox. And
Lunchbox, yeah.
They added the lyrics to Justin to be on Yuko's little side, and they did the dance, get a little psyched.
Yeah,
and then
so funny.
Leave, and she's like, oh, but it's like, that's it? How do you feel? Well, yeah, I got a little excited because we're dancing. It's like, okay, let's go to the next one. And they have a crab, and you see like it's a dumbbell.
Yeah.
And he drops it in, and it goes.
Studs.
How heavy is it? Oh, about 15 kilos. And it's like, yeah, for a girl like Yuko, that's a little heavy.
Yeah.
She gets in, and again, I love the edits for the parts because every time she jumps in, you hear her song, but she gets to the crab, and she tries to pull it, and the song just stops. She's like,
stops. Yeah.
And it just every time she tries to pull, you hear the song. So she tries to lift it up, but it's heavy, so she drops it. So it gets to the floor, but it ricochets back into her chin. So she bites on her lip, and that's like, you're underwater biting on your lip. You need to get out of there. She bites. I was like, yeah, no, it's not working. It's like, oh, well, you failed. But again, to motivate you, we have a special guest, and it's like maybe someone. No, still me heavy.
Yeah.
She gets up. She does her song, but this idiot that she is, I'm sorry. She walks along, just enjoying a song, doesn't see the emergency exit trapdoor, and sploosh! She falls in the water. She's like very flustered. All the intention instead of Yuka is on her. She's like, oh, Gomedasai. It's like, no, it's an happening. It's a variety show. That's great. But now, guess we can end this. All right, bye-bye.
Yeah, it was a good ending.
So, all right.
V-Town has an interesting way of always stealing the attention, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She's so good at that, and I don't know if that was intentional or not. Like her going through it, it didn't look. It looked like she genuinely screwed up.
Yeah.
But like, I was actually really claustrophobic watching the whole segment because Yuko was down. I'm like, she's gonna die. Like, how do you? What if she got stuck at one point? And I'm like, that's so dangerous. And like, but she was a champ, man. She did it. It was just seeing her with that thing and just sitting down there, like, I give up. It's so funny.
That's why I love Mechaike on that side. All right. So we get back to the bus. Yuko changed like into this very nice, very girly outfit. I think later she performed it on another Mechaike show when she kissed the tiger. That was pretty funny as well. Yeah, so they're talking again like, oh, you will do anything for us, right? And you'll still be on the show, we'll still be invited. It's like you don't have any rules. They're worried about, Yuko was a big influence for the Mechaike series, and they think like now you're famous, so you won't be in our book or anything. And she's like, no, it will be fine. Okay, they're talking about the drama she's doing currently, like the show Andaloids, and it's like, Android stuff like that. And it's like, would you be like that? And she's like, uh-oh. Yes, if I would get the role, I would be an android. Like, no, but would you be an android? I said, if there was a role, and she's like, keeps saying, like, if there was a drama, then I'll be an android. And he's getting flushed. It's like, just, do you want to be an android? And he's like, yes, I will be android. Ding dong. And it's like, okay. Get out there. Man. I did miss a part, though. They asked her, it's like, what would you like for this to happen? And she would like to meet from a Mechaike skit. It's not Funashi, but Takashi. And
Takashi, yeah.
Takashi, yeah.
So she was like very excited to see that, and like, wait, maybe it will happen. And they pan out to the bus, and he's like, too bad. It's like, no, it's not happening. Also, in the meantime, not to skip over this, Yabe's son was born, and he was like, okay, great, we're all flustered, we're all excited. So just a little tidbit there. But it's funny that the guy actually, his firstborn son, just, wife, you'll be fine, I need to tape the show with Yuko. Like, would you do that? Like, the woman of your child is like having birth, and you're like, no, I need to film this comedy skit for 2 days.
Ooh.
Interesting how the work etiquette is in Japan. Anyway, we get to the like a special area, and we for the first time see these performers. They later become very famous. I think also by the influence of Mechaike. I forgot their names because it's like.
You mean the Android girl, right? Huh?
Yeah, both of them.
Oh, that's the Elekita Rengo.
Yeah.
Nippon Elekita Rengo.
Thank you. So they perform the skits, and it's like this whole, isn't it okay? Isn't it okay? They go with all Japanese, and it's like, no, it's not okay. It's like, it's like a woman is playing old dude, and then there's a woman playing like the android. And basically, the guy is like, oh, we can have sex, right? It's okay, right? It's like, no, that's not fine. Well,
gotta jump into this. This is pretty much a catchphrase. Dabe yo, dabe.
Yeah, that's the one shot gag.
That was good.
That's pretty good, actually. Yeah, so they go through all the skits, like, I got these tickets, shaking like an old man, and well, they're having fun, and it's very scary because, like, she's doing all these robot moves, and she's doing it very convincingly. So the skit's over, and Yuko's like, what the hell was this? It's like, okay, you're gonna be the android. It's like, well, which one? Which one is gonna be the android? Give me one moment, I have a visitor. Hello, cat. Stupid cat. Okay. So Yuko's like looking again. It's like really thinking, I don't want to be the android. I don't want to be the android. Well, you already know who it is. So she has to like go back, be in the group, and it's Yuko just has a complete makeover. She has this white white face with a black wig and red dress, and she has to perform this whole skit, like chatty wife number 2 Yuko, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they do the whole skit, and at the end, it's like, oh, they're broken, so she does also the weird movements, and oh, just replace it with the Reno chatty
Spoiled
woman
child,
number
yeah.
4.
Spoiled child, you know.
And she's like, no, dame. It's like something like that. It was weird to see it. It's just a random thing, but it helped her, I think, in career just to make her lose, because as advice, she was like, you're still the idol mindset, and that doesn't work in acting. So it was pretty good to say of them. They give a little bit of advice.
Yeah, I thought it was really awkward to me. Like, I actually, this is my least favorite Mechaike special, but because it's just so many weird moments like this. But after watching, I watched it again this week, and I felt a much more renewed appreciation for it because of what you just said. Like, knowing where Yuko is at today, it's just amazing how Okamura-san and Yabe, like they really seem to genuinely care about AKB in their own very strange and unusual way. But at the heart of what they're doing, it really helps. Isn't that crazy?
Just prepare them for the showbiz world.
It gave Kawaii Rina her whole thing. It's so many girls in AKB owe Mechaike like so much for what they did for them.
They helped Michan during the whole situation.
Right.
They helped Sashi.
Like,
they are very harsh, but they take it as a comedic effect. But it really helps them. I think Mechaike did so much for the group. Just give their name out there.
And it's funny too because like they know all the little things though as well. Yeah. Like they know what works about these girls, so they really just nail them. And it's so funny to see the reactions these girls have. But Yuko's she's good though. She can give as much as she gets. So that's why this was a little bit, I don't want to say not as funny because she, like, if they would have done the special with like one of the really weirder girls of AKB, like maybe an NMB girl, for example, I can't even imagine the weirdness it would have went to. Or my girl, Tani. Can you imagine Tani doing a Mechaike special? Oh my god. Anyways, what were we going to say, Robin? I'm sorry.
No, we're actually moving on to the next segment. So we're back in the bus, and Yuko is still in the android outfit. She's like, can I take this makeup off? It's like, no, we don't have time. We have to rush. And like, you see the bus slowly going. It's like, there's cars passing us. And it's like, okay, well, we are hungry, right? Okay, we should get something to eat. Oh, there's a crepe shop over there. I think the youngest of us should go. And the thing is, Mechaike and Good99 has been doing this for a long time, so they know they're like a little bit older. And Yuko is the youngest; she's 25 at that moment. And she's like, "All right, Yuko, you should get some crepe shorts." Like, I can't go out like this. Like, no, you go out, get some crepes. And the funny thing is, you see people taking pictures, and it's not allowed. That's a rule, right? When you meet AKB48 members, you're not allowed to take pictures of them outside.
Yeah. Outside of outside two sides, yeah. Outside.
Yeah, so I thought it was a little bit rude on that side. Well, they got blurred out, but go ahead, yeah.
I think they're part of the staff though during that. Like everyone's blurred out, but they're actually part of the storyline.
Maybe.
Yeah, they actually probably are, because like normal Japanese wouldn't take a picture just randomly like that though.
Right.
So I think they're actually part of the whole show segment.
Yeah. So Yuko ordering some crepes, I think 12 or something.
While scaring the person behind her.
Yeah, it's like and outcome, like in the Bakujo test, this guy always loses, and he was also playing the Akipi style during that.
Hamamoto.
He doesn't say anything, and he just starts laughing. I like this part because sometimes you don't need to say anything for comedy. You just a little laughing just by movement, and he just takes a few pictures, like, oh, don't take pictures, and then he sends it to the crew and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I love the part he's like, put the phone away, he grabs this giant ice cream, and he does it like it's a like bunch of flowers. So it's like, congratulations on graduating, pump, and he gives the fake ice cream. Like, he's just very annoying on that side. So he leaves, and he's like, okay, it was fun. No, he comes back, and it's Kawaii. Yep. And Kawaii is there, and she just starts laughing. So before we move on, this was still the year that this was in March or April, right?
I think
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah. So this is all before things happened in 2014.
Yeah.
So just seeing Kawaii there, you know, all smiles, all happy.
Yeah.
It really had a moment like, oh man, just your year is gonna suck later. And just
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
she's smiling, she's happy, and they had the Bakujo desk before, and she takes her shoe off, and they yell, oh yeah, this is the girl with the smelly feet, and Yuka just goes, oh my god, this is horrible. That's really horrible. Go ahead, Yo.
Can I say it? The line in Mechaike on Kawaii.
Yeah, go for it.
Go ahead.
Kawaii! Kawaii!
Yeah,
Kawaii!
Oh,
Kawaii!
man.
We'll get into that review soon enough, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she takes a picture, sends it to Akipi. He's like, don't send it to Akipi.
Yeah.
They're just laughing, they leave, and they're like, okay, that was horrible, that was funny.
Yeah.
Yuko comes back with the crepes, and like, yeah, the bus already left, so you have to run. You just see her with 12 crepes just trying to run down the street. This is one of the top idols, like top celebrities in Japan, and you see her with 12 crepes in this weird white face outfit running down the street catching a bus. I think as a person it's like, what the hell is happening? What is this show? But yeah, it's still later in the night. They move on to the next segment, and it's the final stop. And they're like, but we're not even near the Olympic Stadium. So it's like, yeah, it's the final stop. We have to get out. Well, during times like this, we just get a taxi. It's like, is that
Oh, boy.
okay? It's like, oh yeah, sometimes you have to adjust. So a taxi shows up. They get in, and they talk a little about how Yuko and Akipi talked about, and that Akipi gave him advice, saying in life, if you have the painful path or the easy path, you should always go with the painful path.
Yeah.
And yeah, those were nice words. And then all of a sudden, the cab driver saying, "Hey, there's a split on the road coming up. One is very easy and one is very painful. Which should we take?" I'm like, you just. Well, Yuko said very painful. Okay, let's go with the painful one. And then he's like, "You should wear this." That's like,
Yeah.
oh, like, oh, us too. We're getting helmets. It's like, what is happening? They go to this like very strict area, and all of a sudden the guy goes in full, just
Yeah.
floors it. Engine goes crazy. Explosions, dodging. At one point, there's like before he starts, he drifts, and it's like, "Are you okay? Okay, here we go." And then he just floors it, flips over the car, and explosion everywhere. And like, "Oh, we just need to get out. There's the car gonna explode," stuff like that. And Yuko just is losing it. I think she even cried at the end. Just she's so like, I didn't like this at all. The daredevil Yuko was
Yeah.
a little scared at that moment. But who can blame her? You're in a car
Exactly.
suddenly and it explodes. Explosions all around you. So, this show I love the show. It's very random. It's very quirky. I gotta say, Derek, I do agree. This Mechaike was fine, but compared
Yeah.
to like a lot of other Mechaikes, this one was okay. So, go ahead, Derek.
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, like, I just think it was sort of hit or miss. You know, I think the funniest stuff was at the end with the AKB members, which we'll get to. But I think if anything, it was like Yuko just looked miserable. And again, but she's tough and she's a true performer, so she kept her cool, I guess, for the most part. But it would have been better had maybe they had somebody a little bit more. With a little bit more of a humor chop to them, where they could have went right back and don't not to discredit Yuko at all. Like, I mean, she was great. She played well with it, but it's just like, you know what I mean? Like her reactions and she just looked tired. Like she's like, please, love of God, can we not do this? And also the jokes were just kind of very, very for Japanese people, I think, maybe more as opposed to Western. Like when Kawaii Rina runs into a wall twice because she can't get an answer right, there's nobody on the planet that can't understand that humor. Versus like the skit with the Dame Dameo, that's a much more Japanese thing, I think.
Yeah.
Funny sounding, but after a while it just got creepy, I guess.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It really makes sense, though.
Yeah.
Alright, moving on. They go to the start of the second day. And, well, Japanese tradition, of course, you have to make a wake-up call.
Wake-up call.
Yeah,
of course.
So it's very early. They fluster. They get their prop guy, who's like an Oshima Yuko fan. They go in and like the door's open. You see the guy, just Okamura, just give a weird face. It's like, the door's open, the lights are on, and they first go to the sink and they see, oh, Yuko used it. So they go to the guy and the guy just goes with his lips like, pump, gets it a couple of times. She doesn't do that, and they do it 3 times. Just a little weird. I would say 3 stooges skit. They go to the bed and they are going to show some ultra rare footage. They open up the bed and you see just Yuko's soul, like her foot.
Yeah.
And to take a picture of it, and it's like this whole stupid thing on that side. But yeah, they're standing next to the bed. They have to wake her up. But how do we do it? He brought a Ziploc bag with Kawaii Rina's shoe.
Oh man.
And you see the counter going down 5 seconds till Yuko wakes up, and you just hear like just go like bellowing. That sound that comes from her. She was really disgusted to wake up. She gets a little like, what's happening? She moans out like, no, it's like I just want to sleep. And then she looks up and she's like seeing the guy. She doesn't know someone. It's like, not even a dade, just dade. It's just that very angrily. It's like, oh no, I'm a fan. She's like, oh, a fan. Okay, I just get in my idol mode. And she's like, oh, can I have an handshake? And he acts it very boldly. And she's like, alright, I'll give you a handshake. She really gives a very good handshake. But then it's like 10 seconds, and Yabe used to be an usher, of course, in the Mechaike Specials. Yep. And he's like, oh, Shuryo, get away. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But it was a little more funny because like they were encouraging him to say what he really felt to her because he was such a he was actually like apparently a big fan or something, or at least they thought he was. And then he's like, who's your fan? She was like, oh, Mariko Shinoda. And they're like, oh.
I changed because she graduated on that side.
She graduated, but then like as he was going on, he was getting really into it. He's like, "Come on, get out!" He was remembering his when he was doing it with the Produce Special. Yeah, so funny.
I didn't like the guy. This is how you think he's a normal fan compared to an insane fan. So it's like, oh, did you enjoy it? Yeah. You still can't date her, you know. In real life, you can happen. It's like, I know that. It's like, good, he knows. It's like.
That's horrible, yeah.
Go ahead, yeah.
That's basically me when I met Nachan last year. I'm like,
aww.
What?
Yeah, all those girls anyone would be lucky to have you as their boyfriend, so don't even say that.
No,
they'd be way too lucky.
No, I mean like the handshake session. I'm like dead silence. Because I'm like, what the heck do I say? But like but remember with Sayaya, I'm like, oh, there's a Final Fantasy event outside. Like, you know how the Oshi levels are weighted. Like your Oshi you can't speak, and like just a random Oshi you chose is like, oh, there's a Final Fantasy event outside. You should come. And Sayaya
just like, say stuff, yeah.
Sayaya is like, okay, bye.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're back on the bus, and they're heading to the stadium, and I think this is my favorite segment out of everything. So they're hungry, they can't find any combinies, and they see these 2 people fighting. It's like, what is happening on this stage?
Oh yeah.
So a little backstory before we get in. During a Mechaike show called Otosan or something, the guy who plays Otosan, Kato,
Katakoji.
He gave
Kicked
a wrestling kick. The thing is, it got really, because in Japan they still believe wrestling is very much real, and I think I just lost all my Japanese fans because listen, it's 2017. You should know wrestling has certain moments, but the thing is, during that a kick that he gave, instead of kicking it right away, he just put his foot on there and then he shoved her on that side, and she actually sold it on that way, so she was perfectly fine. It backlashed, internet got mad, and they're like, even Okamura says like, I don't care, I don't have Twitter or anything, so you can't flame me, bye bye. But they emphasized on it. They had let her Mayu do multiple skits, funny stuff, and this one was one of them. So we see them as a French chef. Katakoji is like dressed up, pastry hats, all the white up, and then you have the traditional chef Mayu, which is like this giant, I think, rice spoon. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they are just arguing, fighting, and they get out, and Mayu's like, okay, oh, Oshima, I got some rice. You want rice? I want some bread. And they're like, no, just go away. Then she pushed the ground. It's like, here's some bread. Girls like bread. And Mayu gets this giant rice spoon and just clocks him in the neck. And he sells as well. He's like, what's happening? It's like, no, take this away. It's like, and gets up. They fight to get along. And all of a sudden, Kato is bringing a cake. And it's like, well, you can't eat right now, but I made you a cake. And he's like, oh, this is pretty fine. And, well, Mayu doesn't agree with it. But Oshima really likes the cake. So, at one point, Mayu is at the cake. And it's like, oh, what are you doing? And they're fighting. And they're doing this. I love this part. So, they're just, doing the fake fighting. But they go between back and forth. And have anyone ever played Mortal Kombat on, any platform? Like the old games. So, Kato is doing the punches. He gives a 3 punch like choo choo choo. And then Mayu does this move, that.
Oh, yeah.
That move.
From Avatar.
Yeah,
right?
no. That move actually is from Sang Sung. He really does that move in Mortal Kombat. Just a choosh. So, it's a martial art move, apparently. But it's like funny. It's like, is that really a move that Mechaike people were thinking? Okay, but they get very close to the cake, and it's dangerously, and then they think the cake is gonna fall. Oshima Yuko steps in and tries to break him up, and out of nowhere, Mayu grabs Oshima Yuko and plants her face first into the cake. Go ahead, Yeo.
But that's the thing though, like every time you see a cake, like even in wrestling, like this is not gonna end well.
It's not gonna end well, no. You had to see that coming. Yeah. But Bio doesn't just do it nicely. I mean, like you watch it, she like
and just squishes it in there.
Grinds her face in it. And again, Yuko like playing a good sport, just like submits.
No. Her reaction is like, oh my God.
Right, that's what but I mean, like when she was doing it, she's like, whatever.
She
like,
knew it was coming though, because like every time there's a cake in a show, you're like, like someone's gonna get pounded.
Kato gets just starts fake laughing, like, senpai, this and that, and Mayu just gets a little mad on the side. It's like, oh, I heard about you. You're a bad sleeper, or was that before? Now am I now mixing things up?
I think the cake was pretty much how they ended it.
Oh yeah, so I missed before. This is the funny part. They use it the same well. It's like, oh, you're bad at sleeping. You stay too long in the toilet, and then Mayu just that mad moment. I really love when Mayu gets mad. That really shows her character.
It's cute. It's adorable.
But when I saw this Mayu, I knew that this Mayu is actually the why she became number one. Sadly, though, the last few years, she's still the playful Mayu, but not as she was in the Mechaike time period, I would say. But yeah, they still get mad, they just laugh up, and then just she throws Katy on the ground and grabs a cart and just tries to run him over. It's like, you can go straight to hell. It's like very angrily. It's like, oh, we need to calm her down. I think that will calm her down. And Yabe brings out his phone. It's like, shows the baby, and instantly it's like very happy Mayu. It's just like, it's so cute. Alright, everything calmed down. They get back on the bus. They're so happy. Yuko's not happy. He's like, I don't care about the food. I just really want to. I like the sentence like, then, at least let me get this off. And then you're like, chum, 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 chum,
Yeah.
chum, 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 chum.
And
What happening? Pop! Just falling backwards, make a nice flip with Okamura, just going into this hot, steaming hot of water early in the morning. All the cake is gone, her makeup is gone, whatever she had, just completely wet. They get up, you have the ice buckets. And it's like, Kato asks, what time is it? Like, 7 seconds. You get this little PR box, and they have to do this PR box, and she doesn't get the sentence out. It's like, Mechaike can be so cruel at those moments. I think that was my favorite part. So then, yeah, they get on the bus, and they skipped everything, I think, because of, editing.
Yeah.
But they get finally to the Olympic Stadium, and there's the finish line. She gets there, and everyone's waiting. Mayu's there for some reason very fast. You see Takamina. I think you see like all the major members, and even like the members just staying on the side. And okay, well this is it. Everybody else, they're just laughing. And then you're like, yes!
Yeah.
And every time I hear that, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
And he comes up. First thing he does, he does a jumping kick. Okamura just jumps in the
That
way.
was so funny when he did that.
He just makes
Flying
havoc.
kick.
He just goes away. And it's Egishara 2.50, I think.
Yeah.
And this guy, I think, Geno ZX hates him because he's just so annoyingly weird. I laugh when this dude shows up because I know hell's gonna break loose.
Well, he put Sashi in a headlock. He almost put her out.
Yeah.
And he's like, you can't do that to her. I could do it to her. She's variety. That's
like on point. Like, no.
Sashi wanted to be on. She actually auditioned to be on Mechaike and didn't get in there. Not because she couldn't. She was too popular, I believe.
Did you catch the reference though? They're like, "Run, Sashiko, run," and that's like her one show.
Yeah,
remember?
Yeah,
it had the title of her one show, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's so funny." They're like, "Run, Sashiko."
Just a little tidbit there.
I love the little things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's trying to find Yuko. Yuko is hiding behind Koji Haru, and he's like, "Hoshima, Dokura." It's like, "Where are you?" He couldn't find her. You see everybody just moving along, and he finally wants to talk to her. It's like, "No. We have a problem." It's like, "What? I just want to talk to her." No. Someone else wants to talk, and then you hear this part, a very lighter "Yosh, Igai." All of a sudden, all of Team K comes out, dressed as Egishara. This is a sight to see. They are looking horrible. You see Jurina, Kuramochi, Shimada, Fujita Nana is there. And
Abe Maria.
A very young Abe Maria.
Or Shimada's the best.
Shimada, yeah.
Furuhata now, and I think Makito Sports was there. This part.
Uchida. Yeah.
In the meantime, I'm seeing also Tano Yuka in the back, and you can also really tell she's getting pushed a lot. So just imagine, she was really pushed for greatness, but something happened in that time period. But yeah, so they want to talk to her, and they first do the whole gag style, and even Egishara is like, alright, I'll join. At one moment she's like first confused, but then he blends in. It's like, where'd he go? And he does the whole thing. He gets a little mad because they're copying his gag, and they're like, okay, but you want to copy my style? Then you have to do this. And it needs to be like this and this talking way. It's all Japanese words, like, what's it called? A mochoboke or something like that?
Monomane.
Monoboke.
No,
Monomane.
I think it's monomane.
Yeah, monomane.
Yeah, monoboke is using items, I think, right?
Yeah,
It's saying like, this pen writes weird or something. That's not a item that should be an item. Yeah, Julia comes up and she really souls it, just yelling out, giving. This is why I like Matsui Julia. She is the same as I would say Oshima Yuko. That's why she's an ace, because she's an idol. She can be very, very cute, very feminine, very attractive. She could also be just bad, crazy, you know. I just about to say something else, but very insane on that side. And she gives it up and just saying it, and well, Egisara gets a little angry. It's like, that's not really what I was hoping for, but very nice words. Then then Kuramochi shows up, and I think, oh, Kuramochi's so cute. She's gonna tell this heartfelt speech to Yuko. It gets interrupted by Egisara. It's like, too long! You take too long!
So funny.
Oh, it's called Monomosu. Yes.
Monomosu. Okay.
Thank you.
And okay, then you get the next one. It's very light voice, and she's very short. And he's like, too short! Just getting all this anger out of there. It keeps going. You go through all the members. We see Abe Maria throughout the now just going in there, and we get a heartfelt speech at the end by Kobayashi Kana.
Yeah, it was really heartfelt. Almost made me cry.
Just, you know, they show the history together that they had as second gen coming up, all the styles that, and in Yuko, how different they are. But don't worry, we'll still get there in the end. Then Yuko was allowed to do some words. She first tries to do comedic, but then she stops and just feels tears up, and it gets, you know, a little real there, a little sad. She gets her opinion out there. And then they thank all Egisara, and he's like, "Don't do this! Like, this is not. You shouldn't. I'm the one you should hate. Don't thank me on this side." It's like, okay, well, we should end this on this way. It's like, well, okay. And then he puts his two fingers in his mouth, and he goes crazy.
It's so bad.
And he goes just getting disrupted. So I would think the show was over on that side. Wasn't though. So we go to the final thing. So they're sitting down, and here Yabe's like, "Oh, that was fun. The concert is now busy. It's day one, and so they think that was nice. Where is Okumar? Hey, where is close? It's like always closer, and he goes like, "Oh no!" You see Takeshi running up stage, going away, and everybody's like, "Hey, Takeshi, Takeshi, Takeshi!" And Yuko's like, "Huh? What's happening?" And I really wish they showed this when we reviewed the concert, because I would like see the whole segment and not just the Mechaike segment. But yeah, probably some. Sorry, it's getting late. I'm sorry, I had a long day. They had maybe some rules, I think. What did you say DX it was, maybe?
Sorry, come again?
With the Mechaike, why they didn't show it on the
yeah, probably licensing issues.
Yeah.
Because different agencies and such, yeah?
Yeah, I think that was the main issue. So, they, Takeshi is just running around, and they changed the lyric to I Takeshi. That was pretty funny.
Cute.
Yuko has no clue what's going on, and you see Takamina just forcefully is like, "No, stay here. It's a segment. Don't do anything." And finish the song. They go up, and it's like, "Oh, you're fine. You're here," and it's pretty cool. Then Yabe shows up. He explains to the 70,000 people over there. It's like, "Hey, this is for a graduation show we're doing, and we're just here, and like now Takeshi's just wanted to do something else before he goes." And he says, shake hands with me. And he's like, well, okay. And then out of the eyes just come two arms. Everybody goes insane, just out there. But she's like, okay, I'll shake the hand. And she gets pulled in. So it's like all dangerous like that. Oh, isn't that just Okumura? Then you see just on this eye hole, seeing him going over there.
It's so funny.
And weirdly enough, Mechaike never does their ending well. So they're like, alright. Oh man, I'm so sorry, by the way. It's just
Robin apparently is boring himself to death.
Yeah. It's not that. It's been a long day. I'm very sorry.
Yes.
But yeah, that's actually it. So the anti-concert, they give like a speech, thank you Yuko on that side. It's been well, go great with your career. And then it ends. that was the Mechaike side. So what do you guys think on that?
Oh man,
Oh.
it was really funny to watch it back, to watch it all back again. And back then, I wasn't that familiar with Japanese comedy, but now I see everything back, and it's like, jeez, I wish I knew this sooner, so I could laugh at it more back then. And now it's like, so much that I missed back then when I first watched it. It's really
You get more of the joke.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
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 You can tell, by the way, that in Netherlands it's getting late because I'm yawning. He's stuttering on his words.
Yeah.
We're like,
Yeah.
we're losing it, man. Yeah, the Mechaike, again, when I watched it recently, I still now know a little more, so I get the jokes a little more in it because we get the history behind it. And I think Derek said it best. Like, some were very Japanese and some were just Western, so anybody can watch it. Again, compared to other Mechaikes, this one was okay. There were a few like funny moments, but normal Mechaike gets real crazy. I think
Yeah.
that's more laughable
Yeah.
till
Yeah.
tears just goes out. So
You know what's
this is nice.
What's interesting about that too is Okamura in real life is like total depression case and like really has mental problems and like depressed and like very like can't be social, and yet he's a comedic genius. He's genuinely one of those individuals that can take comedy and turn it upside down on you like that, and he's so quick to do it, and he's like the instigator, you know. Him and what's his name from Women's Rush Hour together would be
Muramoto.
yeah, those two would be. They remind me a lot of each other, in not maybe in their personal life, but in the fact that they're so agile with their comedic reflexes. But yeah, when you look at Okamura, the unhappiness in his life, it's a true case of like he's like a Jackson Pollock, you know. He creates this beautiful art, but he's a mess in real life. And look what he does for these girls. Like, it just blows me away, you know. Blows me away to do that.
I remember when he really lives for the show because he does like almost anything for the show.
Yeah.
He won from a different show like 1,000,000 yen, and instead of keeping it or doing anything, he went to Dubai, and he bought like this expensive lottery tickets.
Yeah.
A lot of them for just to win the big bucks. It's like you already
Like,
won
stupid
1,000,000 yen, and
Right.
then you're gonna spend it all on Dubai
Yeah.
for a lottery. And they had
He's
to
insane. I love it.
they had the live showing of if he won, and he
He
didn't
didn't.
win, and then
Of
he got
course.
punished for it, like a huge drop into like his whole
Yeah.
powder thing. Like, this guy is insane, but he really likes AKB.
Yeah.
That's the thing I like about him the most is that because he's so sharp, he does his homework, he knows the girls, like you can tell like he really thinks about how to form a joke around these girls' personalities and things like that. And I don't think he ever phones it in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
with the Takamina special, oh my god, like
Yeah.
just
Oh man.
every joke, he was like every other thing he said or they did was right on point with the girls. Like even like looking at Miyazawa Saichan, that was like a behind the scenes thing known about her, that she's a gossiper. And
Yeah.
he totally exploited that. Like, he totally made that come out to light. That wasn't, like, the most well-known thing. And he's so good in, like, pinpoint accuracy. It's just amazing, because with Yuko, like, just the fact that, like, she said she wanted to meet, Fukashi? Am I saying it? Takashi. And he made it happen. Like, I don't think that was scripted.
No,
And he's like,
no.
"Come
He's
on."
like, we can plan it. What do you like to see? And they, alright,
Okay.
I'll just get the suit and just do something at your concert.
I'm gonna crash a 70,000 person attended concert and make it about me. And
Yeah.
Yuko's like in the back, and literally they don't even pay attention to her, which is part of the gag, I'm sure. But then, like, you know, when he's like practically molesting her with the costume, you forget, like, he's breaking idol rules there. You're not supposed to touch her, but he's allowed because he's Okamura, and that's like, there's a real beauty, like a hysterical beauty to that. I don't know. I love him. I love him so much, and it broke my heart when I heard about what he's really like in life. But it's like I hope he'll do another AKB special soon, because it's been a while, and like I really
used to love
want
these
him.
ones, yeah.
Bakuto
Yeah, I want
test,
him-
come on.
Like do another Baka test, or do something like where he does something with all the sister groups, like pits them against AKB48,
Like he did
or
before,
like
Yeah.
or let's go find the boat for Stu48. Like that would be hysterical.
Or
like
Oh man.
yeah, go ahead.
or do the Mayu graduation special.
maybe
I'm
they,
surprised they didn't.
yeah, well, there's still time, but or they filmed it and we don't know it yet.
Oh, that'd be so funny.
There's a documentary coming out from Mayu for like
She's in LA.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no, she's in South Korea, right? That was the thing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the TBS, yeah.
She was in LA for something else.
The album, yeah.
Yeah, she was on the streets of LA and trying to ask people, and no one helped her. I'm like, oh, you people don't know. Just help.
Just help.
Wish I would have known.
Hey, Yeah, if I was there, I'm like, oh my god, that's Mayu!
I know, I'm so bummed. I could have totally like hooked it up with her and been like, "Maya, where do you want to go? I'll take you anywhere. Like,
Yeah.
I'll show you LA. It's cool. Like, just as friends. Come on, you're not my Yoshi. I don't want to cheat on Tani."
You're graduating, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, see, they're like, I ain't talking to you anymore. Figure it out myself.
All right. So yeah, that was Mechaike. I think for next week. So I think next week will be something. Derek, are you here next week? Or that was the thing. You aren't here next week, right?
I
Or-
am, because next week is the
11th.
10th.
Okay, you're still there then.
I am still here.
Okay.
So I will be here.
So shall we continue this Mechaike trend?
Why not?
I would say like maybe we could also, if you wanted, like reel it back a little, because we have the anniversary stuff coming up, and you might want to prepare for that. And we could just go back to our normal format for a little bit and then revisit the review stuff if you want. That's an idea.
Okay.
Or we can, if
Well,
not, then yeah, we'll do
for,
Mechaike.
for next week. Let's just close in with the anniversary concert, because there
There you
probably
go.
will be a lot of news to talk about that one.
most
All right,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
next week then, just a graduation, the anniversary concert.
Boy, you are really tired. We should wrap this up. Come on, Rob. I know you want to go to bed.
I have to work tomorrow.
Hey, at least I did a full show today. Yay!
Hey,
It's
that's awesome,
been
dude.
a while. It's been a while. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, technically you didn't. You did leave to go to the bathroom, so technically.
Yeah.
Hey, that was only 30 seconds. I
All
had
right.
to. I'm like, ooh.
Oh, by the way, before we close up, we still need to give a little bit of a recommendation, because Haru Hika has also published a new video.
Oh, she has?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
has actually.
Totally did not know that.
It's
So
check
it out.
it's a cover from SKE48, right?
Yeah, I'll take a quick look. Just a sec.
She did
Put
it
that
in
in
English again.
Yeah, it's the English cover of the Igai ni Mango single from SKE48.
She's so and Tani just centered that recently for some performance. I was so happy. I saw that on her Twitter or something. It was amazing.
Hmm.
But yeah, go Tani.
So,
No,
guys,
that's awesome.
yeah, check that out. I was saying, I will always check out
Go Haru.
Mr. Josh Box. He also has a new video up where we talked about, the K-pop and J-pop whole thing. So he goes in depth on that side. I think that's pretty much it. Or does anyone else still need to say something before we wrap things up and I can sleep?
I got to just say real quick again. I'm gonna because
Yeah.
I have to.
You have
Necronomidol is coming to America on December 15th, and they will be here from December 15th to December 22nd. We are going to have 2 shows in Los Angeles here, a show in San Francisco, Seattle, and Oregon, in Portland. I will be driving them up and down the West Coast and hosting them. We have almost all of our tickets sold out for the Ultra VIP show that we're doing after the show at the Whisky on December 15th. We're doing a special after show. We have 1 ticket left. So can somebody please buy that ticket and sell this thing out for me, because that would be really, really, really tremendous. And I can't wait to tell them. It's going to be great, where everyone's really excited. So if you are in the LA area or any of those other couple cities, please, please, please come. Even if you are not like a fan of Necronomidol, if you're a fan of the idol world in general, this is very important that you show up and give your support, because if this goes well, I am thinking I want to bring other groups here, and AKB would of course be the dream. Team 8, I guess. They seem to go everywhere. But I would like very much to bring other groups, and this is a good start for that. So please, please, please comment. Thank you for letting me plug that.
All right. Well, with that then, thank you for watching this week's episode of 48 Talk. And we'll see you next time.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
It's
been a while.
Ah!
Wow.
Uh,